Do you need a Linux distro that can be reproduced with just a few configuration files? What about a distribution with the ability to easily add or remove packages without impacting others? What's that? You also want a large selection of up-to-date packages? NixOS can do all this and more. In this video, we'll look at installing NixOS and some basic configuration. So what you're looking at right now is the NixOS live environment. So to get this onto your USB stick, all you'll need to do is go to this link here. I'll put this in the description. At the top, you'll see this Nix Package Manager. This is not what we want. This is just if you wanted to install Nix Package Manager on something like Arch or Debian or anything like that. But down here, you'll see NixOS, and you'll have two graphical ISO images and a minimal ISO image. If you download the minimal ISO image, you will not have a GUI, so therefore you can't actually see anything on the screen. You'll just have a terminal. You can download GNOME or you can download Plasma. I'm on Plasma, but let's take a look at how we go about actually installing this, because there is no guided process to do this. So the first thing you'll need to do is open up either gparted, or you can do this via fdisk. If you're doing this via fdisk, I assume you know the commands to do that, so I'm going to let you go that route. But for the purposes of my install here, I'm going to go ahead and delete those particular partitions. I'm going to apply that. If you need to change your partition table, you can just come up here after you've formatted and hit create partition table. We are ready to start adding our partitions. So I'll say add a new partition. We're going to have 0 proceeding. And this is only going to be 512 megabytes because this is going to be our EFI. So we're just going to call this EFI. Label is going to be EFI. And our file system is going to be FAT32. And then we're going to add a second one. This is going to be our main root partition. We're going to leave approximately 2 gigabytes after the partition for our swap space. This is going to be called root. And then our label, let's make this NixOS. And we're going to leave it on ext4. It's important to note these labels because we will be using these when we actually go to do the install. And so we have 2 gigabytes left. So we'll leave that for 2048 megabytes. We'll change this to Linux swap. And then swap and add. Okay, so we have 3 here. We're gonna hit apply. There is one more thing we need to do, but right now you can't do it because you wanna manage the flag. Go ahead and hit apply. It's gonna go through and do its thing. So now you'll come back with this. So if you right click this now, hit manage flags, and we want to change this to boot. And when you do that for a GPT partition, you'll see boot and ESP checked, and that's all we need to do. So I can go ahead and close out of this, and we'll open console, and I'll make this a bit bigger. So we're gonna do a few commands here, and these are not anything complicated, but I will try to explain these as we go. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just type in sudo su. All of our commands will now be performed as the sudo user. So that way we don't have to constantly re-enter sudo, because the majority of these commands you actually need sudo to execute, or sudo. I always, that's just the way it phrases in my head, so I always say sudo, but I'm pretty sure it's sudo. So the first one we want to do is mount /dev/disk/phi label. And so we're going to mount first the NixOS one, and this is going to be our root directory. So we're going to mount that to /mnt. So essentially, we're taking this NixOS partition that we created and mounting that to the /mnt folder. We're also going to make a directory now, -p /mnt/boot. And we've created that directory. And so now we will mount our other partition to that. So /dev/disk/phi label I think I did EFI. EFI is all caps in this case. Whoop. I forgot to do the /mnt/boot. So that way we're mounting the EFI partition to /mnt/boot. Now we've got those 2 partitions mounted to a directory. So what we need to do next is create a Nix config. So what we do is we say NixOS. If you just start typing generate and then hit tab, you'll get generate config, which is exactly what we want. We're going to say --root and then /mnt. We're going to generate this in our root directory. And so writing mnt/etc/nixos, and it's created the hardware configuration and configuration.nix. From there, what we want to do is we want to actually go in and look at this file. You could just go and install from here if you wanted to, but I recommend going in and just at least looking at it to see what settings you're setting up. I prefer Vim. Nano is available though, so if you want to use Nano, that's perfectly fine. We're going to say vim/mnt/etc/NixOS configuration.nix. And so if I hit enter, we'll come up with this. First up, we want to actually enable this host name here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep this short and simple and just call it Nix. That way it's clearly obvious on my network which one I'm looking at. I'm going to also change the time zone. I recommend you consider doing the same. I'm still in insert mode, so we'll get out of that. And we'll say America/Chicago for the central time zone. I'm sure there's a much quicker way to do that without doing it the way I did it, but it's fine. The global DHCP flag is depreciated, so I recommend not using that. I have this set to, it's going to use the DHCP on my interface that I have here, and that's fine. I'm not using Wi-Fi, so I'm not going to bother, turning on Wi-Fi or anything like that. And I'm not using a proxy, so I'm not going to do anything about that. Right here, this is something that if you're using a server install, or if you're potentially going to be logging into a console and that's it, and not using X11 or something like that, this will be really good to set up. Changing this will affect your default font for your console. If you're looking to log into console sometime, that would be a really good option to set up. And this is actually 16 size, which is pretty solid. A lot of times it's something stupid like 10, and so when you get it on a bigger screen, it's really tiny. And you can also set your locale here if you need to set that. I'm not changing it, so I'm just going to leave it. But that could be really nice. If you aren't going to use X11, you could delete this or comment it out. And the same for Plasma or SDDM. I'm actually going to add another window. We're going to add a Windows manager, but we're going to do that after we reboot. I just want to show you how easy it is to do so. Keymap for X11, layout is US. We'll just leave that alone. Printing enabled, if you wanted to enable printing, you could. I am going to turn on sound, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those two. We're going to use Pulse Audio for now. At some point, I do want to see about changing this over to Pipewire. I'm not using a laptop, so no touchpad for me. If you're using a laptop, this is something I would, again, encourage you to enable. So here's one that can be really useful, especially if you're looking to set this up so that you have it kind of set up for future use. So if I go ahead and uncomment this, we're going to create a new user, and we're going to say Vash is a normal user is true, and that's fine. We're going to say initial password equals, it's double quotes here, password. And I'm intentionally making an error here to show you how to go and fix this. Here's where we're actually telling it what to install. And it notes here, do not forget to add an editor to edit configuration.nix. The Nano editor is also installed by default. So if you don't actually add Vim or something else here, then you'll have Nano. So I know some people like Micro as well. That would be something else to add. For the moment, I'll just enable Vim, and we'll also have wget and Firefox. If you don't enable this section, actually, you won't even have Firefox. You'll literally have to go to console and edit this in Nano to get Firefox added. That'll take the majority of our setup time once we've done this, but I want to go in and add one more thing here. So I just want to add lame shot, just so we have a screenshot utility. So here's some other stuff down here. I don't really use these things for this particular machine, like SSH. We may end up enabling these later on, but you could actually go and enable SSH, add a key, and then connect via SSH to finish up this install, or to do any further configuration after this, if you are wanting to potentially do that. But I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing firewall right now. This at the bottom just states what version that we're starting in. I'm using 21.11, so I'm not going to change this, and it clearly tells you here, and recommended to leave this value at the release version of the first install. If you're wanting to change this, I would definitely recommend reading through this information. What this is going to do is it's going to set up our system. We're going to have Plasma desktop, we're going to have SDDM, we're going to have X11, we're going to have sound enabled, and we're going to have a default password of password and a new user named Vash. And we're going to have Vim, wget, Firefox, and Flameshot on top of any default programs as this is installing. So I'll escape and I'll write this out. So now that we've done that, what we want to do is we want to say NixOS Install. And then I'm going to do no root password. What this is going to do, normally if you do this install without this flag, it'll come up and ask you for a password for the root user. I don't want a root user, so I'm just going to run it this way. Okay, like I said, we made an error on purpose, so there is an error there and it's trying to tell you what to look at. If I had a different editor, or if I had, if I was in an actual environment, I would have my Vim configured to show line numbers, but I'll show you where this is. It's right here. Notice how this first line has a semicolon at the end and this one does too. What I need to do is add a semicolon, WQ, and now we'll actually go into the install. This can take a couple minutes here because ultimately it's unpacking some things, it's downloading Plasma, it's downloading Firefox. So those two can be quite big in comparison. You'll notice that these are all like Nix Store / some random number, and we'll talk a little bit about that once we get to the actual desktop. But for now, I'll just kind of fast forward through the rest of this so you don't have to watch it because it can be quite lengthy. So it's finished up. What we need to do now is reboot and remove the USB key. And so we will take a look at what it looks like once we've done so. All right, we're back. So you can see it's picked up my username here as Vash, and I can go ahead and sign in with that initial password that I set. So the first thing we need to do is change that password. So let's go ahead and do so. And once again, I'll increase our size a bit here and say sudo passwd. It's going to ask for my current password. Okay, new password. I'm going to set that up. All right, there we go. So if I hadn't set that password up, the only way I'd be able to log in would be setting a root password, and then I'd have to log in to root and then do sudo password for my Vash account, and then set the password, and then log out of root, and then come back in as Vash and disable root. Ultimately, you just save yourself a lot of steps if you set an initial password. If you're gonna consider, uploading these or keeping a copy of these, it's gonna be stored in plain text. So make it something really simple and don't put your actual password in there. So we'll go cd/etc. So now we have all of these. So we'll go to sudo vim/etc/nixos/configuration.nix. So I'm going to bring up Firefox, and I'm going to show you the way I prefer to search. Let's quit out of this for a moment. I just want to show you. So you can say Nix Search Qtile, and that'll go about and search, and it'll bring something back for me here. So you'll see it has a Nix plugin. But if we go here in Firefox and just search for Nix Search, here we go. So if I just search for Qtile here, you'll see the same result. And if I click this, it'll say this: whatever you do, don't use this command. From all I've seen, nix-env is not the way you want to install packages. It should generally not be recommended from all I've seen and read. But this is a good way to see the package names. But what the interesting thing about Nix is there are flakes and there are options. So here in options, this is what I actually want. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. There are not options for everything. Options are really seen more when you're having to enable a service or something like that. They're not seen for things like Flameshot. So if I search for Flameshot here, they're not there. It's only in packages. It might be in flakes. It's not. Flakes I'm not as familiar with yet. I am going to be looking into that, potentially do a future video on that. So Flameshot, as you can see here, this is, again, it's always going to say this Nix and Vin right now, but they do not recommend using that. So we're going to go back into our file here. If I scroll down right here, this is where I want to add my, so we have Qtile enable, and I'm just going to say equals true. And then write that out. And what I need to do here is say sudo NixOS rebuild switch. So it'll go back here, it'll build our system configuration, and then it's gonna go through and install anything that we've added. So here that I've added Qtile, it's gonna go ahead and do that. So now I come over here and I hit log out. It's gonna come back to the SDDM login screen. Before I go down to the bottom here and I change it to Qtile, it's gonna ask me for my password. It's not liking my new password so far. I'll have to see why that's not working right. I'm still having to use my old one. And there we go. We're in Qtile. It's meta R by default to meta R. So if I just want to spawn a console, as you can see, it is meta R, Firefox. So there we go. it's working. I'd have to go in and do some configuration. I'd have to pull that up. But for the moment, I just wanted to show you how easy it was to get that set up, and you don't have to go and do a bunch of other stuff. So I'll click shutdown. And we'll go back to Plasma X11. Somehow I forgot to record myself actually entering the commands to install Home Manager, so I wanted to go through this page really quick to get to the point where I have actually recorded. You just search for Nix Home Manager. You will likely end up at the Home Manager entry on the NixOS wiki. If you look down here at installation as a user, follow the official guide. If you click that, you end up here at the GitHub, and this is what I wanted to go through here. So I'm going to be using method 1 here. So it is also recommended for people on NixOS or Darwin that want to manage their home directory independently of the system as a whole. So that is what our goal is with Home Manager, and what we're going to be able to do is install applications specifically for the user for this through Home Manager. So we're going to go to standalone instructions. So the first thing I had to do was add the appropriate channel. I'm on 21.11, so Nix channel right here, and then you just add this GitHub link, and at the end it has home-manager as the channel name, and then you just say Nix channel update, and that'll add it there. And here's where I ran into the problem, and this is what delayed this video. I tried to run this command next to actually get it to install, and I was not able to do so. I had to log out before I was actually able to run this. You may need to log out before you can run this. If you try it and it does not work, that would be what I would do. But it was acting like it did not know the command Home Manager. So I think what happens is right here on the path, this is not actually happening before you log off and log back in. I'm now coming back to the video, and you'll see where I'm logging back in after I've had this issue. Alright, so we've logged back in here, and we're going to go and set up Home Manager. So now I'm going to run this Nix shell command that was not cooperating before, and now it's working correctly. We'll let it do its thing, and it shouldn't take too long. There it is. Alright, so now it says we need to go into this config file, and we can add some packages here. There we go. So the home directory obviously should be your home directory for your user, and I'm at 21.11, so that's correct, and I shouldn't change that. So now let's go in and add some packages to our Home Manager. To do that, we're going to have home.packages, and then we're going to have equals, and then with pkgs, and then a semicolon, then our open brackets. What that's doing is that actually is allowing us to skip the pkgs on each line. If we did not have that, it would be pkgs.htop, pkgs.neofetch. This is not a big deal when you have 2 packages, but if you were going to install, 10 to 15 packages here, or even more, it can save you a lot of time that way. You'll notice I have an error here, so I realized that my semicolon was missing at the end of the brackets, and I just add that, and I write the file out, and then I run the update again, and this time it works correctly. And now I can use htop, which works great, and I can also use neofetch, and that works as well. So any other packages that I wanted to add, just basic packages, I could do that way. If I needed something more complex like Emacs, I would have to do some other stuff to make that work. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was interesting and useful, and I hope you have a great day. If you have any other questions about NixOS, please let me know, and I'll be glad to take on those in a future video. Thank you so much.